Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Underdog Prep Series. No idea what number this is. Is it 9? I don't know. But anyway, I look a little bit different. I'm wearing a shirt. Can you cope? I'm going to get my nails done and also get a pedicure as well. Something I never do. I never get pedicures simply because I'm one of those people that just find them ridiculously ticklish. But I kind of want to, suppose, I get one in the lead up to the shows. We are currently 2 weeks out today. 2 weeks. Like literally in 14 days time, I will be a different shade of skin tone. I will be so dark. I just can't believe it. I cannot believe this day 2 weeks. This day 2 weeks. And it basically today is a rest day, so I want to just basically, my coach was like, rest up today. So on a rest day I usually just try and stay active and stuff like that as well, but I suppose like today I'm gonna be able to get my steps in anyway, and I just don't want to do any work. I literally want to give my mind a bit of a break. So one of the best things that I do is actually go and treat myself, pamper myself. I always feel I'm one of those people that, and maybe this is since becoming a coach, that I feel guilty when I go to the beauty salon, and I don't know why. Like when I get my nails done, or you know, when I do something nice for myself, even if it is actually tucking up my hair, I always feel guilty. I really struggle with it. That's why I do go. Well, I mainly get my nails done simply because I bite them. So I get like shellac done just so I'm purposely not biting them, because I will pick at them if I'm quite anxious, which is, as we guys know, I'm anxious all the time. So yes, so I always get my nails done purposely for that reason. Second reason, I think I've said this before. Why do I feel like I've repeated this before? I think I've said this in another video. But the other reason why I get it done is because I'm not on my phone. So because obviously if I'm getting my nails done, I can't be on social media, so it's another distraction. But also, as I've said before, you know, in order for me to be the best coach, I have to look after myself before I look after others. So that's what I'm going to try and do today, is just really look after myself. I'm going to have a really nice, relatively chill day. Like, my cardio's done, got a cardio boxed off this morning, but need to still do my steps, which I'm going to go do now. My appointment isn't for like another hour, so I'm just going to go and do a quick walk around the block basically, because my nail salon isn't that far from my apartment. So yeah, I'm going to do a bit of steps, then going to go and get pampered for the afternoon. I'll have more steps to do this evening, but it's actually quite warm here in London today, so I'm actually just going to leave my steps until like later on this evening, just so like most of my steps until later on this evening, so when it's a little bit cooler as well. But I'm literally just wearing this kind of like little two-piece set. I actually got this a year ago in Zara, funnily enough. It's actually like, oh yeah, it was like August. Yeah, it's still August. It's still August. So I got this a year ago, so I wanted to kind of just not wear gym gear, even though I know it looks like gym gear because like it's still like a little set, but I have like the shirt on just to make it a little bit more fancier. Even though I still have, I don't know if you can see, but I'm actually wearing my proper runners. I don't really care. Like, I could put on nice runners, but the fact that I'm going walking, I'm like, well, I want to have comfortable shoes on. So yes, they're like the runners I normally wear all the time when I'm going for cardio and walks and stuff. Pretty much, is that today? I don't know. Yeah, steps, beauty salon. I don't, what do you we call it? Just gonna get my nails and my toenails done, whatever. A few jobs done, did that this morning, did the cardio, had some food already, probably have one more coffee for the day, and then that'll be it, because it's currently like, I don't know, it's after 1 o'clock or something. So I'm really annoyed as well. We can just see a little spot coming through there as well, a little bit of, like, they're supposed to be like hormonal spots, but like, I don't know. I'm just have to get, that came out the last like, I'd say 24 hours. These spots I've always have spots around my mouth. That's always hormone related, which probably is because I have been a mess all week. But I'll have a proper like sit down catch up later on in this video. I'm gonna kind of talk through what am I going to talk through in this video. I haven't really got much from this week, guys, to be totally honest. This week I was just way too tired to get out the camera, so really this video is just kind of going to be a quick catch up, prep update, but I'm also finally going to talk about tips for first time competitors or people thinking about doing a photo shoot. That is what this main video will be about. And then I said I'll do a little kind of like prep update as well, kind of reflect on that this last week as well, because I suppose, guys, I'll say this now, I couldn't get over the support on my previous video. I got so many messages, and like even obviously this YouTube channel is still growing. I'm not expecting like thousands of views and like thousands of subscribers instantly. Like I know I need to say showing up and being consistent, but like every single view on these videos, every single comment, every single like, every single subscriber, regardless if it's 5 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers, it really means a lot. But genuinely I've received some Instagram messages over the last few days, and like I just love how the response to the last video, gosh, I think it was the last video, I don't even know what I talked about. I think I was a bit delirious in that video as well, which I'm delirious for the last few videos anyway, because I'm obviously on very low food. But yeah, so look, the support always means a lot as well. So if you are not already currently subscribed, please do so. Click the button below, like, comment any feedback. Obviously if you're sharing on Instagram, make sure to tag me as well, or as I said, if you want to even message me privately if you've enjoyed these videos so far, please do let me know as well. But as I think I mentioned this in the last video, but I really do enjoy recording these vlogs. I think they're really fun. I just like kind of sharing the little bit of stuff that I'm up to. So now I'm gonna go get some steps in, go to the beauty salon, go take my camera with me because I have a bit of battery on it, which is so bizarre because as we know, my battery decides to do its own thing sometimes. And yeah, we'll go for there. Hello, it's been a while. I know this video is like not my usual kind of, I suppose, like Underdog Prep Series video, but I suppose like there's no point in just me showcasing the exact same thing all the time. But obviously this section of the video I wanted to obviously talk about several weeks ago, and that is tips for first time competitors or first time, you know, photo shoot prep people, if you will. So these kind of like, I suppose I've come up with 5 tips, which I have here on my phone as well, so just in case I ever like look down. These are basically just 5 tips that I would kind of give to anyone who is thinking of potentially doing a show or potentially doing a shoot. Obviously with each of the points I'll try to be like, right, for a show this is this, and for a shoot this is that, just to clarify why my tips might be helpful. And obviously important to know is, obviously as you guys know from following me, I am currently doing multiple shows in September and October. I also competed for the first time last year, and I have done photo shoots before back in 2020, and so I have been both also the client perspective as well, but also I've coached females for photo shoots as well. So again, I have been on both sides of the camera, if you will. I've been the coach and I've been the client, and I am currently prepping girls for photo shoots this year and also next year as well, which is very exciting. You know, potentially I might be doing competition prep, which might be very exciting. I'm really excited. I think this is like I'm saying it out loud in the hope that I'm manifesting it to the world. So if you are someone who's been following me a while and you may want to work with me and actually want me to prep you for a show, holla at your girl. Let's start with tip number 1. So if you are considering doing a fitness photo shoot or a competition, the first thing, which a lot of people already know that I talk about a lot online, is what the hell is your why? Why are you doing it? Now, I will be controversial and be brutally honest and say, if you are doing a show or a photo shoot to boost your confidence, you're going in it for the wrong reasons. Doing a photo shoot on the day, yes, can bring a lot of confidence, 100%. You'd be showcasing like your hard work that you would have done and stuff like that as well. And same with the show. Obviously doing the show on the day is incredible. It does really just, you know, again, it's a great moment to be proud of your work. However, what's important to remember is when you do a shoot or when you do a show, it is one day. What actually is a you know, the prep, is the dieting, is the training, is the fatigue, it's the hunger, and same with the photo shoot as well. You know, it's the sacrifice that you do have to make and stuff like that as well. So I think it's what's important to remember is like, is your why strong enough to get you through, you know, a potential 12 to 18, 20 week prep? You know, is it going to get you through the days where you do not want to get out of bed? Is it strong enough to get you through a potentially 90-minute cardio session? You know, I think it's important to remember that like your why should be so strong that like it doesn't rely on motivation. As you will know, I hate the word motivation, and I think your why should be more than just like, oh, I want to feel confident. If you want to feel confident, you could just do normal fat loss phase. And I have a common one is, oh, I want to challenge myself. I'm like, yeah, but why do you want to challenge yourself? You know, why not just do a fat loss phase, or like do a gaining phase or whatever? Like, I think photo shoot and bodybuilding competitions are so specific that you need to understand that, like, you know, doing a photo shoot prep or doing competition is not just even the dieting phase, it's the potential gaining phase before that to actually build the muscles so that you have muscle to showcase on your shoot day or on show day as well. So I feel like your why just needs to be ridiculously strong for you to be able to get through each and every day as well. So again, does it align with your values? You know, I would definitely spend some time actually really thinking about it to be like, is my why strong enough for me to do this? As well, because as I said, it's not just the show or shoot day, it's the whole lead up to it. It's the months, if not years, of hard work that you're going to put into it, that should be, you know, strong enough for you to actually do it. Tip number 2, this is actually not in like chronological order, I don't think, but is timeline. Are you being realistic with your timeline? I will be honest and say, like, I've had people come to me want to do a photo shoot in a very short space of time, and I've told them, I'd recommend them not to do it. If someone comes to me brand new and they're like, I want to do a show in 12 weeks, I'd probably be like, I don't recommend it. There's nothing worse than signing up with a coach and then realizing that, like, you know, you're 2 weeks into a 12-week prep and then you realize, oh my god, I hate this. You know, I think be realistic with your timeline. I always try and advise people to be like, if you have no specific deadline, push out as far as you can. You want to enjoy the process. You want to potentially obviously do, like, again, this all really depends on your current physique. Like, if you're someone who's like needs to build muscle first, you will need to go into a potential like off season or gaining phase for a few months in order to build muscle tissue. Again, very much depending on your current, as I said, physique, and also depending on the physique you want to bring on shoot or show day as well. And again, with a show, you have to fit the criteria. The criteria doesn't fit you, so you have to do what it takes in order to fit that criteria as well. So again, that may take some extra time. So I think whatever timeline you're setting, is it realistic? In like a dieting phase, like, you don't know how long your dieting phase might be. Some people could do a 12-week dieting phase and be in great condition. Some people may need longer, they may need 16 or 20 weeks as well. But I suppose, like, you know, is it realistic in terms of like, if you have social occasions coming up that you know, if you've like a birthday or a wedding or whatever, like, you know, is it going to affect your prep? You know, you need to be considerate of your timeline as well, because again, don't rush something that could be so amazing, because there's nothing worse than getting to your show or getting to your shoot and being like, oh god, like, I absolutely rushed this now and I feel like crap, and you don't want to get to that stage. So I think, like, don't rush something or go into something just being so set on that you have to do it so soon, because I think it does end up ruining the whole process for you as well, and ends up ruining the possible enjoyment out as well. So I think be realistic with yourself and be like, can I push this to next year or 2 years time, depending on the goal itself. Next thing is growing. I'm a firm believer that any person that does like sign up with me as well, I always recommend, regardless of where they currently are, that they do a growing season. You know, again, if you want to have muscle tissue to showcase on your shoe or show day, you have to have the muscle tissue there. So again, like, if you do have like minimum muscle tissue or have never done a gaining phase, I do recommend you go through that process as well. Now, I know some people are like, oh my god, but I don't want to, like, you know, spend so much time in a growing phase. I'm like, well, if you want to build muscle, you have to be in a surplus to grow muscle tissue as well. Obviously, it's very possible to grow muscle tissue in a maintenance phase as well, but again, if you want to have a substantial amount, I do recommend even doing a slight surplus for a certain period of time so that you actually have muscle tissue to grow as well. Because again, like, it very much depends on the physique that you want to deliver on a shoot day as well, because obviously with the shoot day you decide how you want to look essentially, but particularly again for a show, like, a lot of competitors will, like, I did a 9-month off season for my current shows, which I'm so glad about, because the muscle tissue I have now is completely different to the physique that I had in my show last year. So again, it's just important to consider like a growing phase. Like, spend some time in a surplus, enjoying your training, feeling good. You know, like I cannot recommend building muscle tissue enough. Like, that phase, my 9-month off season, was like the best time ever. I absolutely loved it. I had a great relationship with food, I always have a great relationship with food anyway, but I just really enjoyed eating. My training was amazing, stress was low, whereas like now I'm like, stress is high, I'm hungry, I'm tired, you know. Like, so I think, like, you know, to really get the most out of the whole process, I do recommend going into a growing season as well. As I kind of mentioned before, you're not going to be relying on motivation. You know, I think it's important to remember that, like, not every day is going to be amazing, not every day is going to go as planned. However, like, you do have boxes to tick off. It's not just like, oh, I'll just skip today's training session, it'll be grand, or oh, like, I'll just do some extra cardio tomorrow. Like, regardless of what you have going on in your life, you still need to tick the boxes. You need to be so disciplined when it comes to a shoot or a show. Obviously with a shoot as well, it's going to be a little bit more relaxed than a show, but still you should be disciplined every single day. There's going to be days where you're not going to want to get out of bed. There's going to be days where you're tired, where you're hungry and stuff like that as well. So like, you're not going to be motivated all the time. So I don't know if necessarily this is like tip number 4. It's more of a kind of reminder that you're not going to be able to rely on motivation all the time. So you need to ask yourself, like, are you disciplined enough? Are you going to be able to be like, you know what, regardless if I work 16 hours today, I'm still going to do my cardio? You know, like, you need to remember that you cannot let anything that's unfortunately going on in your life affect you, that you still need to do your meal prep, you still need to do your cardio sessions, your training sessions. Everything has to be ticked off daily. Like, that's just like, it just has to be a given. And I know it can be hard. A lot of us have different lives and different responsibilities, and I totally get that. I know some people who are like parents or who are shift workers who do shoots and who do shows, like, so it is possible. Obviously I can't relate, I'm not a shift worker, like, I don't have children, I don't have a partner, so I can't say, oh, I can relate. Like, I can't, but I know I can see people online who have different responsibilities and still get the work done. So it's important to remember that, like, you know, are you going to be able to get through those days and just be like, I'm going to suck it up, even if it means I'm doing cardio at like 11 o'clock at night, I'm still getting it done. So I think just important to remember to, like, not rely on motivation. And I suppose, like, relating on to that, and it's probably like tip 4.5, maybe 5, maybe it is tip 4, but it is, are you willing to make the sacrifices? You know, I think when it comes to a show in particular, you are going to make a lot of sacrifices. You are going to be saying no a lot. And that has probably been one of the toughest, like, not even the toughest lessons, I suppose. It's definitely been, you know, quite frustrating sometimes to be like, nope, can't have that. No, I can't go out. No, I can't go out for dinner. You know, no, I can't, you know, do that on that day because I have to do my cardio or whatever. Like, there will be a lot of sacrifices to be made, and I think it's important to remember, like, are you willing to say no? And I know it's tough, but obviously, like, it's particularly in dieting phase, like, it's only for a relatively short term time of the year, again depending on if it's a 12-week prep or 20-week prep or whatever it is. Mine was 18 weeks. Is 18 weeks? I suppose. Is it 18? I think it was 18. It is 18. And, you know, I've had to say no to a lot of things. Like, obviously I haven't had a meal out. I have had to say no to, like, a few different, like, you know, things I might want to do. Like, if I did want to go out on a Saturday night, and, you know, even if I didn't drink, it's still the whole, like, I've just haven't been socializing. I haven't really been seeing many friends, simply because I'm just trying to, like, reserve and preserve my energy as much as possible. Obviously, like, I've had to, like, you know, just made some sacrifices even business wise. Like, my podcast hasn't been really as frequent as what it has been. I've obviously just been putting the effort here into YouTube. Even like my social media content, like, I don't think it's the best what it could be. So again, I've had to make a lot of sacrifices. Haven't seen my family in a while, and now I will be seeing them soon, but still, like, I haven't seen my family or some of my friends in a while, you know. But everyone's prep is different, and it obviously depends on where you live and stuff like that. Obviously if I was living at home it might be a little bit easier, but obviously I'm here in London. But I think, you know, you're going to make a lot of sacrifices in prep, particularly in the dieting phase. In your off season, you know, there will be hopefully very minimal sacrifices as well, but I think with dieting as well, there's going to be some sacrifices, and that may affect the people that are around you. So I suppose it's important to remember, like, are you okay with making those sacrifices for the dieting phase of your show or shoot? And, you know, I think it's important to remember that, like, it's only for a short-term period, but are you strong enough to make those sacrifices as well, and are you willing to do it for the sake of your goal? And again, linking back to your why as well. Tip number 5 probably, hopefully, is a given, but I would definitely recommend hiring a coach. When in your dieting phase in particular, or even in your off season, it's very, very hard to kind of like coach yourself. I know some people who have coached themselves, who have done shows several times, or done many shoots, and are able to coach themselves. However, like, some of the best coaches out there have coaches themselves. So if you are someone who's not working with the coach, I do recommend hiring someone as well. Even for me, could I have prepped myself for the shows? Yes, I could have, but I would have just, I would have put myself on very low calories, like, earlier on in the prep, and would have let myself doubt take over. But no, I gave the hard work to someone else. I gave the responsibility to my coach to be like, yeah, you can make the changes, I'll just do it. And I'm a robot, like, he could tell me to do whatever and I'll just do it, and that's just the person that I am. So in terms of, like, to prep me, it makes things easier, because I'm just like, I just don't question it. Even if he said I need to do 2 hours of cardio, I'd probably have a bit of a cry for 30 seconds, but I still move on and just get the job done. Yeah, so I do recommend hiring a coach, because it does alleviate a lot of stress, and particularly if you're someone who doubts yourself a lot and feels like you want to give up sometimes as well. Having a coach there to support you and that's in your corner will make the process so much easier. And that just goes for not even this kind of point, obviously goes to not only a photo shoot or competition goal, but also if you're even thinking about doing a gaining phase, fat loss phase, whatever it is. Like, if you're not qualified, or even if you are qualified and just need someone in your corner, like, having a coach can just make a massive difference to your journey. If you're someone who's constantly done diets and wondering why things aren't working, like, have you hired a coach? You know, again, I know it's so cliche, but the best, as I said before, the best coaches out there have coaches themselves. We all need someone to be accountable to as well, but also as a coach can alleviate some stress, could provide some reassurance, and just be there in your corner as well. So I do recommend you hire someone that you can trust, that you can, you know, bond with as well. I think it's so important that you can kind of obviously, like, relate to them in some way as well. Like, a lot of my current clients are people who have come to me that they can relate to me somehow. They're probably just as mad as I am, but, you know, they're people that trust me and that, like, feel like they can relate to me, and also feel like they can be open to me as well. Like, you want to have a coach that you're like, you know, that you can trust and build an open relationship with. So like that, I have that with my coach as well, and I've been working with him for the last year, and it's been a year of, like, hard work and open and honesty that we've built. Regardless of your goal, if you are looking to achieve any fitness goal, hire a coach, save yourself the stress and time of trying to figure it out yourself, and just hire someone that you can relate to as well. It also helps if it's someone who has potentially done the goal that you've done before, if you've seen their work as well. So again, if they've done a photo shoot themselves, if they've done a fat loss phase themselves, if they've done a gaining phase themselves, again, all of which I've done. But as I said, like, I am looking to go down, obviously, because I have competed already and I am competing now. I would like to go down, potentially competing others as well. We'll see. So if you are a guinea pig and would like me to prep you for your first show, just let me know. I think that is it in terms of my tips. I know I've covered a lot. There's been different things, but obviously, just to recap, what is your why? Is your timeline realistic? Have you thought about a growing phase? Tip number 4 was kind of like the sacrifices. 4.5 was obviously sacrifices and motivation. And lastly, hire a coach. End of discussion. But yeah, I really hope that this video, or the section of the video, has been helpful. I'm actually going to wrap this video up here as well, just because I'm cautious that this section of the video has been quite long. But I do hope it has been helpful and has kind of made you kind of just, again, I don't want you to anyone panic from this video. I want you to just kind of, again, reflect on the tips that I brought up. This is just coming from me in an honest position, as I'm now whatever a week and a half out from my first show of the season. So obviously I feel quite passionate about talking about these things because I am a coach myself and also in competing as well. So you know, I think it's just important that you do consider those tips if you are potentially think about doing a photo shoot or thinking about doing a competition. Of course, if you are someone who's thinking about interest in working with me in general or thinking about those goals, please reach out to me. You can message me on Instagram. I will leave the link to my Instagram here in the description, or alternatively you can reach out to me via email as well or through my website. Again, all the links on how to contact me will be in the description below as well. But I do hope you enjoyed this video and it has been insightful. If you have any questions or any kind of feedback as well, always just feel free to like and comment down below your feedback, and also make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well. But I will see you all guys in the next video.